Following Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter, the platform has been in a state of increasing chaos in recent months. The billionaire entrepreneur's tweets have sparked debate, consternation, and even layoffs at his company. Twitter has had a really difficult time. Elon Musk's tweets have caused significant upheaval within the company. Musk's tweets have ranged from bizarre to contentious. He has tweeted about cryptocurrencies, mocked traditional media outlets, and even mentioned Tesla's stock price, which has some investors concerned. Following Musk's takeover, Twitter has been forced to make some difficult decisions. In an effort to streamline operations, the company recently laid off several employees. It appears that Twitter is out of control. Elon Musk's tweets are just the beginning. Musk's takeover has revealed some of Twitter's underlying issues. For years, the platform has been plagued by misinformation, hate speech, and trolling. We are working hard to resolve these issues. Elon Musk's tweets have certainly complicated matters, but we remain dedicated to making Twitter a safe and welcoming platform for all users. His lieutenants have turned the company upside down by deciding who to fire and refusing to pay vendors. Elon Musk's trusted lieutenants combed through a list of employees showing how much they cost the social media company from a secretive war room at Twitter's San Francisco headquarters. The billionaire owner's transition team, led by Steve Davis, CEO of Musk's Boring Company, then began calling employees. Some were asked to justify their role, while others were asked to recommend which colleagues to keep. These considerations influenced Musk's latest layoffs at Twitter as part of his efforts to restore the company's financial health, while also dealing with an advertiser exodus and an unwieldy debt servicing bill. The February layoffs removed more than 200 employees, but they were still broader and deeper than many employees expected because they came after Musk had already laid off half of the company's 7,500 employees following his acquisition of Twitter in October. Large swaths of Twitter's business development and product teams were eliminated, leaving the company leaner and more unstable. This account of the billionaire's ongoing efforts with his inner circle to control Twitter's finances is based on interviews with current and former Twitter employees, people familiar with Musk's thinking, and his public statements on Twitter and to investors. Musk, Twitter, and the majority of transition team members did not respond to requests for comment. Since its inception in November, the transition team has frequently refused to pay many of Twitter's vendors, landlords, and partners to save money, irritating clients and resulting in frosty standoffs. According to two people familiar with the situation, Twitter is expected to roll out new equity compensation packages for employees in late March. According to the people, Twitter is in the process of calculating a new valuation for tax purposes to price the company's common equity, which determines the value of employee stock options. One of them predicted that the valuation would be much lower than the $44 billion acquisition price. Musk stated earlier this month at a Morgan Stanley investor conference that he had reduced non-debt expenditures to $1.5 billion from the $4.5 billion he claimed Twitter would have otherwise incurred in 2023, adding that Twitter could achieve positive cash flow by the second quarter. However, a scattergun approach to securing efficiencies has perplexed some current and former employees. Some worry that the company will face costly legal and regulatory challenges in the future. Meanwhile, technical issues and bugs have increased on the platform. Elon would always say, "Let them sue." It was a constant refrain, said one former senior staffer who was let go in the latest cuts. It's all very short-term thinking. According to people familiar with Musk's thinking, his decision to bring a rotating cast of leaders from his larger business empire to his so-called Twitter 2.0 stems from a deep distrust of his previous leadership and paranoia that disgruntled employees might try to sabotage the business. There is now a growing expectation among Twitter employees, as well as some bankers, that Musk will eventually choose a new CEO and leadership team from this circle of advisors, even though multiple Twitter insiders have complained about their lack of experience in social media or consumer apps. Insiders say Davis, an aerospace expert and longtime Musk ally, has taken on a role similar to that of a chief operating officer. As a former SpaceX employee, he and James Musk, the Twitter founder's cousin who now oversees the social media platform's engineering work, and Jared Birchall, who runs Musk's family office, decided how to allocate the job cuts. Among the more than 200 employees let go were the founders of startups that Twitter had acquired before Musk's takeover, and to whom the company will now owe substantial compensation. Esther Crawford, Twitter's former product management director, who was initially tasked with leading Musk's vision of allowing payments through the platform, Martin de Kuiper, formerly senior product manager, and Icelandic entrepreneur Haraldur Thorleifsson were among those involved. Davis has been focused on efforts to reduce the company's day-to-day costs, according to several people familiar with the situation. He was also said to be looking into the company's data licensing agreements and policies. According to one source, Davis was the driving force behind the recent decision to charge third parties for access to Twitter's developer tools. According to a source close to the situation, Davis has demonstrated his dedication to the social media company by sleeping on-site at its headquarters with his wife and newborn child in the aftermath of the acquisition, a move first reported by The Information. A former senior staffer described him as the majority whip. His job is to push and push. Elsewhere, Musk is drawing on the expertise of his equity investors in the transaction. According to 5 people familiar with the situation, Pablo Mendoza, a managing director at Dubai-based Vi Capital, which contributed $700 million to the $44 billion takeover, has been working with Silicon Valley entrepreneur Cyril Cantaria, founder of health insurance tech platform Savvy, to determine what to do with existing vendors. According to 2 sources, these include landlords, software-as-a-service companies such as Salesforce, Adobe, and Slack, insurance providers, security details, limo services, and even fertility providers. In some cases, the pair focused on renegotiating existing mandatory contracts, while in others, they simply terminated deals. When telling vendors that the company does not intend to pay them, Mendoza has frequently resorted to pleading with them that his job is at stake, according to another source. Nonetheless, he has had some success, negotiating down some bills by 50 to 90% in some cases, according to the source. Mendoza declined to comment. Cantaria, meanwhile, also worked with James Musk to close one of Twitter's 3 data centers. That move was hailed as a major win by Musk at the Morgan Stanley Investor Conference, but critics argue it could contribute to technical instability on the platform. Omid Afshar, a longtime Tesla executive who once led the company's Gigafactory in Austin, Texas, is another member of Musk's inner circle. He joined late last year, but quickly earned the nickname the Elon Whisperer among staffers for his ability to read the mercurial billionaire's mood. According to sources, Afshar is now assisting Twitter in resolving the company's biggest, stickiest issues, such as cutting infrastructure costs. According to 2 sources, he has recently been involved in tense negotiations with Amazon and Google over large cloud spending contracts. Musk stated at the investor conference that cloud spending has dropped by 40%. Nonetheless, the severe cuts and refusal to pay multiple bills immediately have raised the prospect of belated costs, legal challenges, or regulatory scrutiny for Twitter. Twitter is already being sued by its San Francisco landlord for failing to pay rent, as well as potential class action lawsuits for allegedly failing to follow and pay out full severance packages during mass layoffs. "It's all smoke and mirrors," said one former senior official. Musk is deferring all of these eventual costs so he can do the victory lap. Only time will tell what the long-term consequences of Musk's takeover of Twitter will be. However, one thing is certain: the platform is facing increasing challenges as a result of his arrival. As always, we'll keep a close eye on the situation and provide updates as they become available. Stay tuned.